Trinidad and Tobago Carnival is an annual event held on the Monday and Tuesday before Ash Wednesday in Trinidad and Tobago. This event is well known for participants' colorful costumes and exuberant celebrations. https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/culture_of_Trinidad_and_Tobago. The culture of Trinidad and Tobago reflects the influence of Indian, South Asian, African, Indigenous, European, Chinese, North American, Latino, and Arab cultures. The histories of Trinidad and Tobago are different. There are differences in the cultural influences which have shaped each island. Trinidad and Tobago is an English-speaking country with strong links to the United Kingdom. Historical membership in the British Empire left a major influence on the country, including the differences of the English language and the popularity of the two top sports in the country, football and cricket. There are numerous cultural events such as band launch fetes running in the lead-up to the street parade on Carnival Monday and Tuesday. It is said that if the islanders are not celebrating it, then they are preparing for it, while reminiscing about the past year's festival. Traditionally, the festival is associated with Soca music, with its origins formulated in the midst of hardship for enslaved West and Central Africans. However, recently Soca music has replaced calypso as the most celebrated type of music. Costumes, sometimes called mas, stick fighting and limbo competitions are also important components of the festival. Carnival, as it is celebrated in Trinidad and Tobago, is also celebrated in several cities worldwide. These celebrations include Toronto's Carabana, Miami's Miami Carnival, Houston Carifest, London's Notting Hill Carnival, as well as New York City's Labor Day Carnival. The most influential single cultural factor in Trinidad and Tobago is Carnival, brought to Trinidad by French settlers from Martinique in the later part of the 18th century. Originally, the celebration was confined to the elite, but it was imitated and adapted by their African slaves and, after the abolition of slavery in 1838, the practice spread into the free population. The Convoy riots of 1881 were a turning point in the evolution of Trinidad Carnival. Carnival was originally confined to the upper classes, which rode the streets in floats, or watched from the upper stories of residences and businesses. The night was given over to the lower classes. The first few hours of Carnival Monday morning, from about 4 a.m. until sunrise, was known as jouvert, a contraction of jour ouvert. Costumed and masked by the darkness, jouvert allowed the wealthy to mix with the poor in relative anonymity. Monday night, night mas, had a similar, but lesser function. The mas tradition started in the late 18th century with French plantation owners organizing masquerades, mas, and balls before and during the fasting of Lent. The slaves, who could not take part in Carnival, formed their own, parallel celebration called Canboulay. Canboulay, from the French canbroules, meaning burnt cane, is a precursor to Trinidad and Tobago Carnival, and has played an important role in the development of the music of Trinidad and Tobago. Calypso music was developed in Trinidad in the 17th century from the West African calypso and Canboulay music brought by African slaves imported to that Caribbean island to work on sugar plantations. These slaves, brought to toil on sugar plantations, were stripped of all connections to their homeland and family and not allowed to talk to each other. They used calypso to mock the slave masters and to communicate with each other. Many early calypsos were sung in French Creole by an individual called a griot. As calypso developed, the role of the griot became known as a chantuelle and eventually, calypsonian. Calypso music developed together with Carnival. The chantuelle, who spoke for the band, evolved into the calypsonian, and other characters, such as the midnight robber. The music, which drew upon African and French influences, became the voice of the people. It allowed the masses to challenge the doings of the unelected governor and legislative council, and the elected town councils of Port of Spain and San Fernando. As English replaced Patois, Creole French, as the dominant language, Calypso migrated into English, and in so doing it attracted more attention from the government. Calypso continued to play an important role in political expression, and also served to document the history of Trinidad and Tobago.
Part of that culture was the holding of these lavish costume balls. They went overboard with the costumery, and the lavishness of it impressed itself upon the minds of those whom they had enslaved. The slaves were not allowed to participate in this fine part of their culture. So what they did, they mimicked their masters and mistresses, dressed up themselves. Of course, most of them, or all of them, were barefooted, and they themselves made their own costumes and started their own thing, really.
It was the West Africans who came here. It was the Nigerian, Ghanaian, the Gold Coast, the seat of festival, Africa. That's who came here. It was Bengal and Bihar from India who came here. Seat of festival, India again. It was France, and this was right after Louis XV. This is flam time. You know, this is them. It's them that we get, you know.
But it was not until 1833, when emancipation came to Trinidad, that the carnival really exploded into what was then called Canboulay, which is a patois sort of definition of can brûler, or the burning of canes, which was part of the whole process of refining the canes and processing them and so on. And can brûler was really the start of the carnival as we know it now. In fact, so much so that it is reenacted each year before the parade on Carnival Monday and Tuesday. This was talking to one another. We don't want that. We don't want you to have a religion, your drum, you know, that's your names, your family. But you could entertain us, you could sing for us, you know. And we would clap and applaud you and so on. So the Chantwell was born. And they would be singing in patois, or they would be singing in a sort of a language that incorporated some of the African dialects with some of the French dialects, and totally confused the slave master. They didn't know what they were singing about. You know, and this developed into the calypso, which always was a means of attacking the master class that developed into attacking the governments, or attacking the business classes, you know, because there was always the impression that there was one law for one set of people and another law for another set of people and so on. And the calypsonian would be there representing the underclass, the people who could not speak for themselves. And you had a lot of very masterful works of calypso coming out of that. You know, you had the spoilers and the Segalbas and the roaring lions and, you know, the executors, and they would sing, their topics would be topics that could be taken up in editorials. You know, they would sing things that people were reporting about in the rest of the world during the Second World War. You had Lord Executor singing about the arrival of the Graf Zeppelin, you know. One Sunday morning I hear this rumbling overhead, and it was a German Zeppelin, you know, that sort of thing. And it was always something to listen to, you know, to tell the calypsonian in the same way that the calypsonian told a story, the masquerader told a story, you know.
Only distance will separate us. Ah, what a day, what a time, what a story. To behold this world and its glory. Everybody cosmopolitan, we all will unite as one, and then we got peace in the world. Where we need peace in the world. No more greed, tell world leaders for me to unite universally. Because we want peace in the world. For you and me, peace in the world. Everybody has a fun, so you'll never cease.